Hey, what's going on, all my friends here on YouTube and in the reptile community? My name's Dylan Schultz. You're watching Prehistoric Companions. So today is a really awesome day. I've been waiting for this day for quite a while. It's one of my first gigs this summer, teaching young people about reptiles. So I'm here in my Jeep. I got all my animals packed up nice and neat here. Got the dragons up front, snakes in the back. And we're heading off to the school where I'm teaching young kids about all the amazing companions that I have and how awesome reptiles are, what amazing pets they can be. I'm going to share with you guys how I'm preparing for an event such like this, and hope that if there's other people out there like yourself maybe that would be interested in doing reptile education or showing off your animals and teaching people the importance of how special they are, how awesome they are. This is how I'm doing it. So we're heading to the school. I'm gonna get everything set up, so I'll see you guys after this quick intro. Alright, so we're here at the school. I'm arriving just a bit late. I only got like 30 minutes to get things set up before we get started here. So I'm not going to document the kids for their protection here on YouTube. That's a big no-no, I think. So we're just going to talk about the animals, going to show you guys how I'm setting everything up, and we're going to have a good time. So let's go rock and roll. So I got a big playpen here, got Philo in there. He's already made a mess in here. Got his girlfriend over there, and had lots of nice snake tubs, had everyone separated, got their thermostats and heat pads so everyone stays warm. Brought lots of different reptile tools, your scale, cleaner, chlorhexidine, some snake hooks, feeder bugs. I got some hissing roaches, paper towels, just kind of all things that reptile keepers will need to have if you want to keep, well, reptiles. So how you guys doing today?
Good.
Very cool. Yeah, my name's Dylan Schultz, and I came here today to share with you guys all my prehistoric companions. So we got some really cool snakes, got some lizards, and a Pac-Man frog. Everything that I have here today makes really good pets, really great companions. I spend a lot of time with these animals and to ensure that they're really social and make good companions.
Cute little guys.
These are probably, next to the bearded dragons, some of the most common and popular reptile pets there are. So this here is a leopard gecko.
That's cool.
How many of you guys been to Petco in Glenwood?
Yeah.
You guys have probably seen all the lizards and stuff they got there then.
Yeah.
So yeah, these guys are really common, real popular pets. If you guys ever were to get reptiles when you grow older, if you guys wanted to get them, always look out for reputable breeders, someone who takes the time and knows a lot more about these animals and who's going to give you the right care information. Because these guys aren't really quite like cats and dogs. They do require special heating, special lighting, special temperatures, exactly. So all those things are very particular.
They don't have.
Where do you think they come from?
Petco.
Oh, well, yeah, they do come from Petco. Where do you think they live out in the wild, like Africa or North America? They do come from the desert. So these guys come from Pakistan and Iraq, kind of around those areas in the Middle East, next to Africa. So they are a desert dweller, and they are actually more nocturnal. They're sleeping kind of all day, in rocks and staying hidden from the heat, and then they come out at night to eat bugs. So they got that fat tail in case there's a shortage of food. They have that fat tail, kind of how bears eat a whole lot before they go hibernate.
Yeah.
They get real chunky. and then they sleep for months and months, and they live off those fat reserves until they come out of hibernation. And that's kind of what that tail is doing. This guy is Philo. So he's my 10-year-old male bearded dragon.
And he walk on the
So he's a real good boy. He's 10 years old. He eats bugs. He eats lettuce. He's supposed to eat his greens, but he's real picky. He don't like to eat vegetables.
I love my vegetables.
You like your vegetables? That's good. They call them bearded dragons because that beard will get really black. Certain times, like if he sees his girlfriend, I brought his girlfriend here today too. If he sees his girlfriend, that beard's gonna get real black. He's gonna be like bobbing his head. He's gonna be like, "What's up, girlfriend?" Bearded dragons, they really have to have their own house. Dragon like this with baby bearded dragons, because the baby bearded dragons will become different. They will eat each other.
And what if they want to eat each other? What if the babies? What if they eat the babies? Grown-ups have to eat the babies.
They don't recognize the babies as their babies. Whenever they lay their eggs, the mom, she'll go and lay her eggs. She'll dig a hole in the dirt. She'll lay her eggs, and then she'll go off into the wild and continue doing her dragon thing. She'll hunt, and she'll leave the babies to fend for themselves. And they don't recognize the baby bearded dragons as their babies. They just see these little things wiggling around, kind of like their food, like they eat bugs and roaches, and they see anything that's like smaller than their head that they can fit in their mouth, that anything that they think they can eat, they're gonna eat it. So they just don't recognize their babies as babies. And they are not nice to each other. So you always wanna do your research and know which ones you can. Yeah. It's like certain snakes, like garter snakes. You guys have probably seen the garter snakes out here. So those you can actually cohab. Like you can have like a couple of them in the same environment, as long as there's enough places for them to hide, or
Some rocks then?
Yeah, some rocks, things for them to like climb and hide on, or there's enough. Yeah. So you got to make sure that they have everything that they need. Otherwise, if they don't have everything they need, then they might be mean to each other.
And they might die.
Do you have to have paperwork to breed those, or
No, not necessarily. I think as far as paperwork goes, that pertains mostly to like large constrictors or venomous stuff. You definitely want to check your local and state laws, like whatever the animal laws are, because I think here in Colorado you can't have hognose snakes.
Gotcha.
So, which is a bummer because hognose snakes are awesome. So if you guys want to interact, I have hand sanitizer here, pet-friendly hand sanitizer. There's plenty of that to go around. So, this is a Pueblan milk snake. And like a friend here said, these guys kind of mimic.
Venomous squirrels.
Yes, exactly. So you gotta remember, red and black is a friend of Jack. Red and yellow kill a fellow. Typically, with snakes, what you want to gauge the size of their food is you want to take the thickest part of the snake here, like the midsection, and you want to give them prey about the same thickness as their midsection. So this one eats real little prey, and I feed this one probably every 4 or 5 days. And put this squirmy. This one's name is Looney, by the way. You can kind of tell. Like, it's actually a female. I did have it, purchased her as a female, so maybe I'll find her a boyfriend one day. So I named her Looney because she's just crazy. She just like wants to like go places. I can't like Looney Tunes. Yeah, she's crazy. There you go. So how about let's whip out some pythons.
Yay! Python time. That's just a tiny one. They can get absolutely huge.
And the males max out around 4.5 feet. The females get a little bigger, maybe 5 or 6 feet. So now the big snakes, those would consist of your anacondas, your Burmese pythons, reticulated pythons, amethystine pythons.
Yeah, they can get like 30 or 13.
Oh yeah, they're actually huge, 150, 200 pounds. All across the world, the ball pythons are the most popular reptile pets because they're so docile. Like they're not very prone to bite. They're called ball python because if they're scared, they're gonna like take their head, the most vulnerable part of their body, and like tuck it into their body and like form kind of like a ball shape. They're just not very aggressive animals. And there's so many color palettes. This is what you call a pied ball python. It has nothing to do with pie. And pies create like these really interesting white patches all over the animals. He's a real good boy. You guys want to touch him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I handle, I'll come home and like play with them for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, or like some of the bigger snakes I'll wrap around my shoulder here, and they'll hang out with me when I make a dinner or lunch or whatever. And they just don't require a whole lot. This guy, he eats once a week. I feed him every Sunday. Like I said, an appropriate size. He's on small rats right now. So small rat is about the thickness of his midsection there. And I just have to make sure that he has the right heat and humidity. These guys like a humidity range of around 50 to 60%.
What was that one's name?
This one is Danger Noodle.
Oh yeah.
He's not dangerous. He did when he was a baby, he did strike at me once. Like snakes, unlike cats and dogs, when cats and dogs are born, when they're puppies and kittens, they're born into a world where like everyone loves them and everything loves them. When reptiles are born, they're born into a world where everything wants to eat them. So they're naturally really scared and terrified of everything. So it does take a little bit of time to socialize them, handle them, and make them know that you're not a threat and that you're friendly and you're not going to eat them. So I've spent a lot of time with these guys and ensuring that they are real friendly. Yeah, look at this one. So you see how different, how variable the ball pythons can be. Just like the last snake, this is another ball python. See how different his patterns and colors are.
See, I was deciding what's coming out.
Probably, I mean, she weighs probably about as much as a human baby does when they're born.
Can you show us something? Oh, that is cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Brooks and Baker.
Alright, so you guys taking off now? Or?
Yeah. What do we say?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I got something else for you guys. These are prehistoric companions.
Prehistoric companions. Remember, that was what our day was called today.
So we had a great time showing off all the animals today. I taught 3 different groups of kids, from like toddlers to progressively little older kids, and they just had an amazing time. Lots of questions, and I just was so glad that I had this opportunity to connect with young people, little older people, and show off these amazing animals. So if you guys liked the episode today, do me a huge favor, go down, smash the subscribe button, smash the like button. I greatly appreciate that. I'm gonna go ahead and pack up all this stuff here and get the animals home, get them back and comfortable, and get to working on Sunday's videos. So with that being said, I'm Dylan, and I'll see you guys on Sunday, alright? Peace.